Hello, humans! So, Scandium is the 21st element, but I painted them out of sequence, so it's probably the 50th painting. It took me so long to get started on the videos, we can watch them in their numerical order, up until the lanthanides at least. Those aren't done yet, but since they start at number 58, we have 37 weeks of videos before we get to cerium, so we'll probably beat the deadline. Anyway, Scandium is considered a rare earth element. It was named for Scandinavia when it was discovered in 1879, and it has some traits in common with magnesium in what they call a diagonal relationship. Those are a thing. I tried to come up with a fresh texture for the background, but you'll notice as we work our way through the transition metals that I do repeat myself a time or two. It's a bummer, but hopefully it's not too distracting. My Scandium sketch morphed a few times before I made it to the painting part. At first I was going to do the whole D block as dwarvish folk, but there's 40 of them, and I realized early on I would get so bored, plus it might be too repetitive to be useful as flashcards. So then I added kobolds and leprechauns and hobbits and gnomes to the mix, and that was better but not quite there. Then I decided that left of the hobbits, I'd add some anthropomorphic animals. At first, Scandium was designed as a monkey, but I didn't like it. When I decided to make the rare earth column into amphibians, and Scandium became a newt, I finally felt like I'd nailed it. Which is not to say that I don't lie awake at night, worried that I should have kept them all dwarfish, or turned the whole block into animals, or added backgrounds instead of textures, or maybe just started over as a fetus and never pick up a paintbrush because it's too hard and I suck. But never mind all that. Scandium, the newt, is also a magician. The list of uses for Scandium, usually in an alloy with aluminum, include high-performance bicycles, baseball bats, airplane parts, and space travel doohickeys. All of this struck me as such a classic list of boyish interests. I nearly added dinosaurs and had done with it. Instead, I made Scandium a mage, because I've raised boyish people of various genders, and they all love the concept of hurling Eldritch Blast! If that made you laugh, then we're both Joe Cat fans, and I salute you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Joe Cat videos, and do it now! I mean now, when this video's done. My favorite is his Crap Guide to D&D series. Love it! If you've ever played an RPG, he will make you laugh so hard it will make the sun come out. I'll put his channel in the description. Laughter is good medicine. I've been pretty down this last week because I had to go get a CT scan on Friday as part of the ongoing endless post-cancer care, and there's always a week of me dreading it because barium contrast is yucky and IV contrast is unpleasant, and the entire experience is the kind of thing you just don't want to do, in spite of how nice the techs are. Hi guys, I hope you're watching. You know who you are, and you are wonderful. And then after it's done, you have to wait a few days for results, and there's no way to avoid worrying that the cancer has come back. So, yeah, I'm gonna be a bit off this week. Send me some Care Bear stares or something. Write some jokes in the comments. Make me laugh. Don't get attached to that tail position. I already hate it, but it'll take me a while to fix it. It is not necessarily easy to anthropomorphize an animal, especially a quadruped. The question of how much to keep newt-like and how much to make human constantly came up. Those feet, for example, are amphibian feet, and a bit reminiscent of the monkey feet you would have had, now that I think about it. I use photos for reference for the animals, but sometimes clothing or posture or whatnot are inspired by other artists, and holy hell does that aggravate my imposter syndrome. I'm always afraid that however much I change or add or respectfully interpret, someone somewhere will recognize my source materials and publicly humiliate me for it. I have never taken someone else's work and called it my own. But I cannot deny that this outfit, for example, is based on a wizard painting by a much better fantasy artist. If you recognize it, leave a comment and tell me who. But don't humiliate me, please. I'm fragile. Be gentle. Take a minute and subscribe if you haven't. And as I've said before, if you take a screenshot to show me you're one of my first 100 subscribers, you can find me at a con when those are a thing again, and I will absolutely buy you a drink. No joke. You guys are the OGs. Someday, I'll have 1,000,000 subs, and I'll be a headline guest at cons, and I will be collabing with Bobby Duke or writing songs with Boy in a Band, and Bill Nye will have my Element card deck in his pocket, and my art will start a trend of non-vector graphics on t-shirts, and you will be able to say, I've watched her since she had nothing but 44 subs and delusions of grandeur. As little gay Ryan used to say, though, we are not ordinary people with delusions of grandeur. We are extraordinary people with delusions of mediocrity. Little gay Ryan. We met in the summer of '99, which, to judge by the amount of living we squoze into it, lasted something like 2.5 years. I was 18, and there was a lot of weirdness in Colorado Springs at the time. People think of this as a town entirely made of conservatives, but the focus on the family contingent is not omnipresent. It's just loud. The rest of us were the freaks and geeks and the poets and philosophers and goths. Are there still goths? I miss goths. And the ravers. Oh, the ravers. I couldn't afford to go to raves, but I was always at Denny's when the kids came in, covered in glitter and plastic jewelry and sweating ecstasy. I was famous for my back rubs. They won me many friends, although sometimes those friends may not have remembered me when they sobered up. Memories. By the by, Scandium here is holding a baseball bat in lieu of a staff. It may look strange, but I like how it sets him apart from every other salamander-shaped wizard out there, and also serves a simple reminder of one of Scandium's uses. It hasn't been easy to get a sense of movement into these paintings, and I like movement. Portraits are an excellent thing, but 118 of them together would start to look like mugshots or something. I thought the wind blowing his robes around would give him at least the illusion of movement, even though he's clearly posing for the camera with a self-assured look on his face. I gave Scandium the handle of confidence, because what's more confident than a good baseball player, or cyclist, or astronaut? Also, Scandium halide lighting, which is what that orb represents, is incredibly bright and used in stadiums and other large spaces. One must have confidence to shine. I'm trying. There are bicycles engraved on his belt, but I don't honestly know what he keeps in that satchel. What do you think? Spells? A book of lore? Leave a comment with your theory. I'd really like to know. The latch, at least, is a nod to yet another of Scandium's uses. Couldn't get them all in, but at least it's enough to help chemistry enthusiasts. I hope. That's the other end of my imposter syndrome spectrum, is the fear that I got the science wrong somehow, or missed something super important, and chemists will laugh at me, and then stab me. And it's not just that I fear embarrassment, which is a minor consideration, but not really my thing. It's that I'm hoping that I'm making something that will actually be useful to people I admire, and I'm all over the place doolally today because I might not be. That engraving is some knot work, by the way, used in Scandinavian art since forever, and here to pay homage to the name. Anyway, yeah, that's all. Could be a bust. No rule says that my success is assured just because I tried harder than I ever have on anything, ever. Maybe I'll never have to buy more than 44 drinks. Oh, Scandium, teach me how to stop thinking like this because I'm stressing myself out and it sucks. Okay, then. On that note, thank you for joining me on this wild ride through my mood swings. I hope we can do it again sometime, only, with less down parts. As always, like, subscribe, join me on Patreon for literary shenanigans, be good, get some sun, hang in there, and stay healthy.
Mom.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, dude, that's awesome! I love it! Oh wow, it's got multiple forms? Of course it does. You've never made anything that didn't have a mega form. That is so cool. Are they choppy weapons, or are they like for grappling with objects, or what?
They're choppy slam weapons.
Of course.
And they're also wings. They'll allow it to fly by doing this.
Ooh. So cool.
Yeah, they even help it land safely.
I'm glad
by touching it like this.
Yeah, like the landing gear.
Yeah, then doing that.
Cool.
I just realized that this was a form of its shield. I just figured out that this could be used as a shield as well. Super Slam.